Shabbat Shalom. So my children, like all children, have a lot of energy and they love to play and have a good time. But what I also really love, I love to watch them play, is when they come up to me and they say, Abba, I'd like to ask you a question about life or about the world. And I love to be able to answer their question and to talk about it. So in our parsha this week, Moses is talking to all the children of Israel, and he's ending his speech that's been going on for a very long time with words of a poem. And these are the words of the poem. And first it begins, he says, well, let the earth hear the words I utter. May my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass. Right, he was saying that the words should be taken in. They should be like rain, and they should feel refreshing and fresh and vigorous and good. But then this is what Moses says. He says, remember the days of old. Consider the years of ages past. Ask your parents who will inform you, your elders who will tell you. So at the same time as he was saying that, okay, we want the words to be like rain, that they should be deep. He was also saying that if you really want to find out something really special, something really deep about life, you have to go into some old wisdom. You have to go ask your parents. You have to go ask your parents of your parents. And because then you receive the wisdom of generations. It's been passed down from parent to child, all the way back. And this is something that's so important to us in Judaism, that because we think that it goes all the way back. And why do we read during the holidays all these stories about people who lived so long ago, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel and Leah? Why do we read these stories of the casting away of Ishmael? And why do we read the stories of Jacob and Hannah and the high priest? Because we want to immerse ourselves in a different age, and we want to try and think of what it was like to live in those days. And that when we're doing so, we feel we have a little experience of how they were able to talk to God. Just by reading about them, we think, well, now we can imagine what it's like to talk to God. It allows us to draw from really deep wells. And we think about examining the questions in our lives. If we go back a long time, human beings have always been the same. So we're drawing on a very old wisdom, the wisdom of generations. But at the same time, we shouldn't forget the beginning, because Moses says, may my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass. So we do want to go ahead and we want to ask all the people in our lives for their wisdom. We want to have the wisdom of ancient times, of the Torah, of our old books, of Judaism, of tradition. We want to learn from all of that. But it also has to be fresh. It has to be nourishing. We're trying to find sustenance from it. It has to be like droplets of water sometimes, and sometimes just like the dew. And Rashi says, why dew? Because you don't always want rain. When you're traveling, you don't want rain to fall on your head. But dew is always nice. Sometimes it's dew we need, and sometimes we do need the rain. We need a little bit of a harder plop on our head. And so how we bring wisdom into our lives, it has to be both deep, and it should also be new and fresh and green and help to make us grow. But we shouldn't forget the rains of the generations either, because that's what goes as deeply in as it can and really touches our core. And so as we approach all of our traditions, as we approach a new year of engaging with our Judaism, this is the balance. We want it to be fresh and new, but we also want it to be old and nourishing and powerful. As Rav Kook says, bringing the new into the ancient and the ancient into the new. And if we do that, then we found the power of Moses at the end of the book and the power of our holy days and tradition. Shabbat Shalom.